Okay, so part three. So I'm in the club. I'm having a good time. I get a notification on my phone that I got motion at my back door. So when I open my cameras, I see two niggas with pew-pews at my back door. So I instantly grab old girl and I'm like, hey, we gotta go. Somebody breaking into my house. I gotta go. Come on, let's go. So I rush outside. We on the way to the car and I call the police. I'm like, hey, somebody's breaking into my house. This is the address. I just seen them on my cameras going through my back door with pew-pews. So I'm in the car and I'm flushing. I'm doing 100, y'all. Like, I'm like maybe almost 30 minutes away from my house because I'm all the way down there by Tampa Airport. And the whole time I'm in the car, the only thing I can think about are my dogs. Because my dogs are like my family, but my dogs, they are very expensive dogs. So I'm like, I'm driving and I'm praying. I'm like, please don't let them take my dogs. Please, no, they could take anything else. Please don't let them take my dogs. And so, okay, one of the reasons why they had to break into my house this night and set it up for this night was because me and this same homegirl was supposed to be going to Cali, not the next day, but the day after, because I had been doing business in Cali. I would go over there, get what I need, and bring it back and do my business over here. If you know, you know. So because of that, I had already had like 20 grand packaged up and ready to take with me to Cali. So I'm flying. And while I'm flying, I try to call my homegirl, like to tell her what's going on. But she don't answer the phone. So, but it is like maybe 1:30 in the morning at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like between 1 and 2 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, she probably sleep. So I pull into my neighborhood, and my neighborhood that I used to live in at the time, it was a really long, it's one way in, one way out, really, really, really long road that take you back to the different subdivisions, and it's nowhere close to an interstate. So in my mind, y'all some idiots already, because this is a setup for disaster. So when I pull into my neighborhood, it's police everywhere, y'all. And I can only go so far into the neighborhood because the police have things like blocked off. So a police officer walk up to my car and he go to explaining the situation to me. They have one of the suspects apprehended already, and they still searching for another one. So the suspect that they had apprehended already, he had actually made it to the getaway car, and they had started a high-speed chase. So he was in the car, and he had two minors in the car with him, two younger girls in the car with him also. So he's able to get to the car and make it out of my neighborhood, and they end up throwing the stop strips down when they got on the main road coming up out of my neighborhood, and he ended up crashing and wrecking the car. The car ended up flipping like 2-3 times. So I'm asking the officer, I'm like, was there dogs in the car with him? Because, you know, at this point, my main concern are my dogs. That's all I care about right now. And he was like, no, there were no dogs in the car with him. There were two younger females, and then there was money. And they were like, we're collecting all the money. Some of the money ended up on the road because of the car crash. And we have brought the dogs in, and we searching the neighborhood for the other suspect. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting, and I'm like looking around, and then I see like all the officers rush to an area. And so then when they rush to the area a few minutes later, they come bringing another suspect out from behind one of my neighbor's houses. This nigga just got caught breaking in my house, y'all. Who is this nigga? Y'all know this nigga? This nigga just got caught breaking in my damn house. Y'all see him? They got his ass though. They definitely got him and his partners. Who is that, y'all? So then the officer comes over to me and he explains to me that when they arrived on the scene, they saw them coming from behind my house carrying my safe. And when the police pulled up, they dropped the safe and they took off running. So the police had never went inside my house. So now they need to go inside my house and make sure that no one else is still in the house. So I'm telling the police, okay, please check for my dogs. In the back of my mind, I am a little worried though, because, you know, I do got some stuff in my house that don't really supposed to be there. So they go in and it's taking them a really long time inside my house. So now I have come to the conclusion that, okay, yeah, they really in there searching my house, not just checking for another person. So when they come outside, when the officer come outside, he was like, yeah, the house has been cleared. There are 2 dogs in the home. But we would like to ask you about all the dope that's in the house. So when he say dope, I instantly been like, what? Ain't no dope in my house? Because when you say dope, I'm thinking dope. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yeah, we found some marijuana and different stuff like that inside of your home. So I was like, oh, yeah. You know, my daughter just passed away. I have a medical card for that. Like, that's how I'm dealing with cope, stress, whatever. Because, baby, I was scared shitless. Because I'm like, what the fuck? What did you just find in my home? So then they want to question me about like where all the money comes from. So I was like, you know, my daughter just passed away. I had got a life insurance policy, which I didn't. I'm a stripper. I told people I was a pole dancer, y'all. And, you know, that's just all from my income. Like, just from me working and from me getting this lump sum of money and different money that was raised for me when my daughter passed away. I had to think quick on my feet. So after a little while, they ended up letting me inside of my house. And when I tell y'all, them niggas had flipped my shit. In that short little bit of time. Them niggas was in there going crazy. So I get my dogs. I end up taking old girl home. And I call one of my little pieces, an Old Faithful. And, you know, I tell him what happened. And I'm like, I ain't staying at my house tonight. So I go over to his house to stay the night. And y'all, this is when the story start unfolding. Okay? So while I'm there, you know, we trying to figure out who the dudes is that broke into my house. So I get into my camera system and I show him the pictures, and then I show him the video that I have of the dude when they brought him from outside. And I'm like, you know, the dude look familiar, but I can't really place him. As soon as I show him to him, he like, I know that nigga, he be with so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, so who would send these niggas? Because I don't know these niggas, so how they know where I stay? So then once we figure out who the 2 dudes is, he like, you know, they be doing stuff for another nigga that he know, that he cool with. So he end up picking up the phone and calling the nigga. So he was like, hey, you heard about what happened with Red, blah, 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 blah. Like, nobody don't really know that me and this piece be piecing. You know what I'm saying? So the dude that's on the phone, he talking like freely with him. So he like, yeah, man, I heard about that shit. You know, sometimes you got to be careful about who you have around you, blah, 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 blah. So my piece is asking questions to try to get some information. And that's when old boy that's on the phone tell him that it was my homegirl that sent the niggas. Y'all, my heart dropped to the floor. I just instantly started crying. Like, I was so hurt, so upset. Like, I did not want to believe it. I couldn't believe it. So after a minute or two, my hurt turned to anger. So I want to call her. And I'm getting ready to call her, but I was like, no, you can't come at her like that, because you got to figure out all the facts first. You got to have all the facts before, because this is a hell of an accusation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm crying. I call her. And remember, I told y'all she had been trying to plant them seeds about the nigga that I was dealing with. So I call her and I'm crying. I'm upset. And I'm like, bro, they done broke into my house. They done broke into my house. she instantly hit me with them. I told your dumb ass about that nigga. You ain't want to listen. I told your dumb ass about that nigga. Now look, that nigga done robbed your dumb ass. Just talking to her, just hearing her voice, I knew it deep down in my soul that it wasn't that nigga, it was her. Like, I just knew. I knew, y'all. And that's it for part 3. Part 4 on the way.